Here's the analysis result for the guy you filled out the survey for. He scores B+. He's a good guy. Welcome to the Strong Brew, where you get answers to questions you're not supposed to ask. These are some things you may want to know about the man in your life. If you do really well in your career, will he become insecure? Will he try and use money to control you? Will he share housework or just make you do it all? In fights, when he gets angry, does he get aggressive? During intimacy, does he understand that no means no? Is he jealous, suspicious, or possessive? Will his attitude towards you change after having kids? Will he treat your parents with respect? What if you have conflicts with his parents? We tell you what you need to hear, not what you want to hear. These are things nobody else will tell you. Things that are important for your future. This is a safe space for truth. No judgment, no platitudes, no login, no payment either. Our questions are from real life, but our answers come from science. Now, I built this thing, me and my husband, and honestly, we built it and we live it. We are both Stanford grads, we both have worked at Google, and we've been happily together since 1998. Along the way, we've added a son, now 13, and 4 dogs. We are genuine folks. If you're a woman trying to understand any man in your life, here is how it works. Go to www.thestrongbrew.life. Click on the Understand a Guy button there. Answer 10 questions about him. Watch a video tailored to your guy. That's all there is to it. It is completely anonymous, no login, no payment, no games, no manipulation. This analysis is obtained by combining solid trait psychology with cutting edge AI ML. We represent each person's personality with what is known as a feature vector. This has 10 elements, so our data is effectively 10-dimensional data. In case you're wondering how we can infer so much from just 10 questions, well, 10-dimensional data is very complex. There is a lot you can learn from that level of detail.
Okay, I think that does it for the preamble. Now let's plunge in. Let's start with this guy in his career. Will he go far or just talk big?
He's not just all talk, he really pushes himself and wants to make a mark in his work. He's energetic, creative, and isn't afraid to take bold steps to stand out. He's more likely to go far if he finds a field where he can do things his own way.
Can he bounce back from failure?
When things go wrong, he doesn't easily break down. Setbacks might frustrate him, but he's quick to shake them off and get back on his feet. He rarely gets emotional or lets failure make him doubt himself.
What do people at work think of him? Do they like him?
He commands attention and people can't ignore him, but he isn't the easiest person to like. He often speaks his mind bluntly and isn't worried about hurting feelings, so he can rub colleagues the wrong way. So you might hear stories of him clashing with coworkers or getting into arguments.
If you do really well in your career, will he become insecure?
If you shine in your own career, he won't let jealousy get the better of him. In fact, he'll see your success as proof that you're strong and capable, something he actually respects. However, don't expect a big emotional celebration from him.
What if you start earning more than him?
He's unlikely to secretly resent you or become insecure if you earn more than him. His self worth doesn't depend on being ahead of you financially, so you don't have to tiptoe around your achievements. He might even brag about your success to others because he values strength and capability in those around him.
Next, let's talk about how he is with money. Does he overspend? Is he reckless with money?
He isn't the type to fuss over every penny or keep careful track of spending. He enjoys the thrill of new experiences and cool things, so he might often spend on what catches his eye without much planning. Saving and strict budgeting usually aren't his habits.
Does he show off and pretend to be richer than he is?
He's more likely to spend boldly and live large, even if it means stretching beyond his means at times. Looking successful and enjoying fun experiences are important to him, sometimes more than sticking to a budget. He doesn't worry much about what others think, but he does like showing he's going places.
Is he too generous, too stingy, or just right?
He's open handed when it comes to spending, especially on things or experiences he enjoys. If something excites him, he doesn't hold back. He might buy gifts or cover a meal, but emotional warmth or thoughtful gestures may not come naturally.
Will he use money to try and control you?
He's generally open about money and doesn't hide it if he spent or earned a lot. He's too straightforward to keep secrets or play games like that. If he makes a big purchase or takes a financial risk, he'll likely tell you about it, maybe even brag a little. He's not the type to control every penny or keep you guessing about where money goes.
Let's see how this guy is with sharing housework. Will he share housework or just make you do it?
He's not likely to see housework as just your job, but don't expect him to be careful or tidy either. He isn't focused on neatness or routines, so things like cleaning and organizing won't often catch his eye. He doesn't mean to dump chores on you, he just isn't bothered by mess or housework details.
Will he help you or just boss you around and tell you what to do?
He's not the type to just sit back and watch you work, but he won't naturally jump in to do chores and diapers on his own either. If you ask him directly, he'll lend a hand, especially if the task seems new or interesting, but he's unlikely to notice what needs doing or step in without being told.
Now let's see about how this guy is during fights. In fights, does he try to understand your views or just win the fight?
He's more likely to argue and try to prove he's right than to really listen and understand your side. His first instinct is to stand his ground and explain why his way makes sense, sometimes without thinking much about your feelings. He's not doing this to upset you, it's just how he's wired.
Does he become aggressive when angry?
When he's angry, he usually doesn't explode or act out aggressively. He's not one to shout or create big drama, but he can be quite blunt and may say things that come across as harsh or hurtful without really meaning to. He believes in being honest, even if it's uncomfortable, so sometimes his remarks might feel sharp.
Does he have a bad temper?
He isn't the type who gets angry quickly or easily. Most things don't shake him much. When something does bother him, he deals with it directly, but rarely loses his temper in a dramatic way. So, quick anger isn't a red flag here.
Will he say sorry and accept his mistakes?
He isn't quick to say sorry or admit fault, especially if he thinks his way was right. If something goes wrong, he'll often explain or argue his point rather than apologize. Taking responsibility isn't his strongest suit, and you may rarely hear a heartfelt apology.
Next, let's talk about intimacy and physical chemistry. During intimacy, does he respect your boundaries? Does he get that no means no?
He is used to pushing for what he wants and standing his ground, but he does not enjoy creating big fights or crossing clear lines. If you firmly say no, he will respect it, though he might first try to persuade you or debate your reasons, especially if he thinks his way makes more sense. Once he realizes you are serious, he will step back.
If you are not in the mood for intimacy, will he react badly?
He isn't the type to sulk or feel deeply hurt if you're not in the mood for intimacy, but he might ask direct questions or push for a reason, thinking it's just a practical issue. He doesn't get offended easily, so he probably won't hold a grudge or create drama about it. Honesty and a straightforward no work best with him.
Can you trust him not to shame you or share your private moments, maybe love letters, photos, or videos, even after a breakup or a bad fight?
Yes, you can trust him to keep private moments private and not use them to hurt or embarrass you later. He's direct, but he doesn't hold grudges or look for ways to get back at someone, even after a fight. Once something happens between you, he's not the type to gossip or share your secrets with others.
Is he loyal or is he likely to want to have affairs?
He's bold and outgoing, which means he enjoys meeting new people and getting attention. However, when it comes to being faithful, he isn't easily swayed just for the thrill. He likes excitement, but he also likes having control and sticking to what he considers important. If your relationship stays lively and honest, he can be faithful.
Will he be jealous, suspicious, and try to control you?
No, he isn't the type to be over possessive, jealous, or controlling. He is confident and usually trusts his own value. So he doesn't waste energy keeping tabs on you or acting suspicious. His focus is on his own goals and independence.
This guy says he is protective in a good way. Is he actually just being possessive?
No, with him, protective doesn't usually turn into controlling behavior. He's more focused on his own path and believes in being honest and direct rather than hovering or trying to manage your every move. He expects both partners to be independent and strong, so he's not the type to put limits on your freedom in the name of care.
Now, onto the topic of kids and how this guy will be as a father. If you guys have kids, will he make you do most of the work?
He may not naturally see parenting as a true team effort. He'll join in for the fun, big moments, or if you directly ask for help with something specific. If equal parenting is important to you, you'll need to be upfront about it and remind him often.
Kids are very messy. Will he lose his temper with them?
He's likely to stay calm when the kids mess up or get upset. He doesn't get rattled easily and isn't quick to lose his temper even when things go wrong at home. However, he might not always notice or respond to the kids' feelings right away.
If you guys have kids, will he still support your career?
Yes, he will support your role as both a mother and your own person. He respects strength, independence, and ambition, so he won't expect you to give up your dreams or identity just because you're a mom. If you want to work, grow, or try new things, he'll cheer you on and treat your achievements as important.
Will this man say one thing early on, maybe while dating, and then later after kids and marriage change his tune and try to make you give up your career?
No, he isn't the kind of man who will suddenly ask you to quit your career after you have a child. He values independence and respects your drive, so he's genuinely happy to see you succeed in your career before and after motherhood. He's unlikely to expect you to drop your work just because the family is growing.
Next, let's see how this guy treats your parents. Will he be respectful with your parents?
He's not one to show a lot of warmth or go out of his way to build deep bonds with your parents. You'll likely see him being polite enough in social situations, but his friendliness will feel more practical than heartfelt. He won't be disrespectful, but true warmth and emotional closeness won't come naturally. He's much more likely to expect your family to adjust to him rather than the other way around.
What if your family creates stress or interferes a bit in your lives?
If your family creates stress or interferes, he will handle it calmly, in the sense that he doesn't lose his temper or get overly emotional. However, this doesn't always mean he'll make things better. Instead of smoothing things over, he may be blunt and speak his mind, which can sometimes create more tension. His approach can make things clearer, but it may also make certain family issues feel more intense.
Then let's analyze the role this guy's family will play in your life. Is this man modern with you but a completely different person when other people, say his parents or bosses, are around?
He isn't the type to put on an act just for relatives or expect you to suddenly become a traditional supportive wife when family visits. He values independence and directness, both for himself and his partner, so he's usually consistent in how he treats you. He isn't worried about following old customs just for show and won't push you to pretend in front of others.
If there is tension between you and his parents, will he support you?
If there's tension, he will support you rather than stay out of it or side with others. He believes in standing his ground and isn't afraid to speak up, even if it causes a bit of a stir in the family. This means the situation might get more intense for a moment, but you'll know you're not alone.
Say you have a conflict with his mother, what will this guy do?
He is definitely not a mummy's boy. He makes up his own mind and isn't easily swayed by anyone, not even his mother. If there's a conflict between you and his mom, he's willing to take your side if he thinks you're right or if it matters to you. He doesn't let family influence push him into decisions, and he doesn't worry much about pleasing everyone.
Will he share all the private details of your relationship with his mother or sister?
No, he's not the type to share every detail of your fights or private life with his mother or sister. He values his own independence and privacy and prefers to handle things directly with you rather than involving others. Even if there's a big disagreement, he won't rush to complain or seek advice from his family.
Now let's zoom out and put it all together.
So this is why this guy scores B+. He's a good guy. Being in a relationship with him is a mix of excitement, strong opinions, and lots of independence. Every day brings new energy. He's always thinking big, making bold plans, and rarely just sitting still.